How to pay for college has become a real problem for most families in the United States. I mean, you look at college loan borrowing, it's really a train wreck for us. We, the American people, owe collectively much more on student loan debt than we actually owe on credit card debt. So how do you handle college? When is borrowing too much? When is it going to be a burden? With me, Joe Wilson, a wealth management advisor with TIAA-CREF, which is a big money management house, very heavily involved with the education market. So I want to welcome you first to our show, To Evening Express.
Thank
Joe,
you, Clark.
Tell me, please, let's talk about students. If you were advising a student who's in college, getting ready to go to college, what are the things that you want that student to know?
I really want them to start out on the front end exploring what are their options in terms of having money to pay for college. We're talking about what grants are available, what scholarships are afforded to them. Also, is there some kind of work study or outside of school employment opportunity that they can explore? If they find that that is not enough to cover their full college expenses, then really think about how much money will it take to get them through school, and then have that conversation with your parents to say, how much are you willing to pay versus how much am I going to be on the hook for, and then tally that up to see how much are you going to have to repay once you graduate from college, because that can impact your life in terms of what kind of college or home that you move into, what kind of car that you drive, what kind of entertainment that you enjoy. So really work through the numbers before you fall in love with any particular institution.
And you know, Joe, for people who've graduated or started in school worse and then dropped out, they're so sad. They feel like they're like in a student loan jail. So one rule that I have had over the years is you should never borrow more in total for the education you're getting than what you're likely to earn your first year on a job. And I've kind of used that as a back of an envelope thing. But parents, I mean, parents are feeling such a case of the guilt about the bind that the kids are in. What's your advice for parents?
My advice for parents is to start early, Clark. I mean, when we look at it, we know that the average cost of college tuition increases by about 8% each and every year. So if you have a newborn baby today and you look at the cost of college education, by the time they reach the age of 9, that cost would have doubled. And then once they reach 18, that cost would have doubled again. So start early contributing towards retirement, or excuse me, towards their college education. However, don't do it at the expense of your retirement, because at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you're financially independent enough to take care of yourself. So it may sound selfish to take care of your needs first, but it's actually probably the most unselfish thing you can do is by making sure you don't become a financial burden on your children later on in life.
You know, it's funny, you and I are on the exact same page about that, because I do always tell parents, don't save a penny for your kids' college unless you're fully funding accounts that you can do like Roth accounts or 401ks for your own retirement. So then that brings up this question. So then again, as a parent, I got a case of the guilt. I got an 18 or 19-year-old there entering college. There's not enough money to pay for college. How far out there do I go? What conversation do I have with my son or daughter?
We'll have a realistic one, Clark. So talk about what you can afford, how much you can pay. For example, I have some clients who say, I will cover the cost of in-state tuition. You can choose to go out of state, but I'm still going to cover the cost of in-state tuition. Anything else you're going to be on the hook for, and see if that's something that they're willing to do. Because this is an investment in their future, Clark, so they have to have some skin in the game, and a parent shouldn't feel guilty. They should just make sure they have that communication in place with their children. Here's another thing, Clark, is that your students or your children can get a loan for their college education. You can't get a loan for retirement. Take care of your retirement. If you have some money left over in the future, then you can pay off their college education, and they'll thank you more for it because you would have taken away something that they've been accustomed to paying themselves.
Well, Joe, I got to tell you, we sound like the same person here. That's really funny. Joe Wilson, thank you so much. Wealth Management Advisor, TIAA-CREF. Let's hope that parents and students take to heart this conversation.
I agree, Clark. Thank you.
Thank you.